could potentially be amazing. That's personally what I'm looking forward to the most. Hello and welcome back to Coffee on Korriban. In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 things just that I thought of in 30 seconds off the top of my head that could be really great about the new Ahsoka show. Could be. I'm not banking on it, but these are just some things that I thought of that, if they pan out, could be amazing for this show. Starting off with number 5. It could have a great feel and bring us a fresh experience. I have always been a fan of viewing Star Wars as a medium to present stories rather than just a single format to tell the story. The movies obviously are fantastic, prequels and originals. And some people might even like the sequels beyond that. That's totally up to them. But when it comes to Mandalorian and Andor and the Book of Boba Fett and the comics and the games and the books, there are so many different ways to tell stories within this universe that it might be beneficial to view Star Wars as the medium, as the mode of experiencing that galaxy. And so it's very possible that with this show, we'll get a different kind of viewing experience. And I know a lot of people are probably cringing at that term of a fresh imagination, you know, reinvigorating the Star Wars franchise. And we've heard a lot of that before, and it doesn't always pan out, and I get that. But Andor did that fantastically. It was a totally different viewing experience, completely fresh, unlike anything we had ever seen in Star Wars before, and they nailed it. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that this could be totally different in feel from Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor. It could be its own type of experience that we haven't really thought of up until this point, and it could be amazing. And based on the trailer, it looks to have a really great feel, and it's almost like you can touch the buttons and the screens and the controls and the materials in front of you as you're seeing it. Andor did that really well, where every button seemed grimy, every shop looked like it had been there for 40 years on every planet. And I got a little taste of that in the trailer, and I said in my reaction to the trailer that I feel like it was more of a poppy, appeal to the masses type trailer, that I don't know if that's going to be an accurate representation of the show itself, but it did look to have tactilely a good feel to it. So that combined with a fresh experience could be amazing for this show. Could be. I don't know. It's Disney, so nothing is guaranteed to be good, but one can hope. Number 4, bringing the animated characters to life. This is a little bit controversial because some people are going to see the actors that play them and say, oh, that doesn't look anything like them, and just write it off. Or they have a preconceived notion of what a character, such as Thrawn, should be in live action, and if it doesn't match into their specific personal ideas of what it should be, they're not going to like it anyway, even if the performance is objectively good, or if the character is written very well when translating it to the big screen. I know it's not a movie theater, but this show is going to be a bigger screen than Rebels, if you know what I'm talking about as far as importance. So that's the complaints against it, but they could do a really good job of bringing these characters to life. Thrawn has been around since, what, the 90s? Was it 91 when Heir to the Empire came out? I don't recall, but Thrawn has been a fan favorite character for a long time, and if they nail his character in the acting, in the mannerisms, in the way that the character talks, and accurately bring the essence of Thrawn, both versions in the different book series and with Rebels, to live action, it could be a really special experience for Star Wars fans. I'm really looking forward to that, again, if they pull that off. Chopper looked amazing in the trailer, so let's hope that pans out. Hera looks fine. If the character performance is worthy of winning me over in accepting that person as the character that they're playing, then great. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Sabine looks like Sabine. Ezra, I'm sure we'll find out at some point. And then the new characters look somewhat interesting as well. And I might make another video talking about the potential pitfalls of this show and where it could go off the rails, but we'll talk about that later. We will burn that bridge when we cross it. Number 3 thing that could go really well is Ezra's Arc. So he had a pretty amazing, and it's been a couple years since I watched Rebels. I've only seen through it once, but he did have a pretty sweet character arc, and the struggles that he went through as a person in not ever being a Jedi, but having Kanan Jarrus to look up to, and then losing him, and then eventually sacrificing himself for the rest of his crew. He did have a really good arc, and everything with him and Maul and all the other stuff. It will be really cool to see a continuation of that in this show, assuming we get to that before the very last episode. That definitely seems like a Disney thing that they would do, is just wait till the final episode of the season to bring Ezra back in or something along those lines. And I hope they don't do that, because Ezra's character is fantastic. And if they bring that to life, similar to point number 4, if they bring that to live action, it's going to be really cool. But seeing where his personal story goes is going to be very interesting. Number 2, adding to the lore. This is the biggest thing for me. If they add to the universe, then it's amazing. Even if it's cheesy acting or bad special effects or whatever, it doesn't matter. Andor, for example, gave us the puzzle pieces that fit into place to give us Rogue One. Rogue One gave us the puzzle pieces that fit into place to give us A New Hope. It's adding to the story, as opposed to the sequels, and I know we tend to harp on the sequels a lot, where they were adding onto the backside of the story and not really giving us anything new. They were just kind of banking on that to continue it, I guess. But when you supplement the information and give us the details of the world, it makes it feel more real, more lived in. It realizes it for us. And so I really do hope that they add to the universe, into the lore, so we get a better idea of actually how the galaxy operates, what's going on in the world at this time. So that could potentially be amazing. That's personally what I'm looking forward to the most out of this show, is just give me the details about the world and let me learn more about a galaxy far, far away, because that's why I'm here. Ultimately, before I get to number 1, if you want to subscribe, you can. If you want to continue this discussion in the comments, that would be great. If you really want to continue this discussion, join the Discord. Link is in the description, and we can talk. We've got a great little community in there. But number 1, things that could go really well, Thrawn. I kind of touched on it earlier, but if they nail Thrawn, it's going to be amazing. He is already one of the best bad guys, and from some people's perspective, not even a bad guy. So one of the most interesting, dynamic characters, mysterious and intriguing as well. He's genuine in his own motivations. He's not strictly evil. If you've watched Rebels or read any of the books, you know about his character. And I really do think if they, again, bring the animated characters to life the correct way, that Thrawn will be their knock it out of the park moment or aspect of this show. It could be absolutely fantastic. It could be pretty bad as well. So if they don't nail Thrawn, it's going to create some pretty strong opinions against this show. And there's going to be strong opinions anyway. It's Star Wars, so, Star Wars fans ruin Star Wars, all that. But I think if they nail these 5 things, this show will be so much better than anyone has any anticipation of as of right now. So if they have a great feel and bring us a new, fresh experience different way to view the galaxy, if they bring those animated characters to life in a way that does the original versions of their characters justice and kind of reanimate them for the masses, if they complete Ezra's arc or add to it in a significant way, if they add to the lore and the details of the larger universe, and if they nail it with Thrawn, then I think Ahsoka is going to be a massive success. Thank you very much for watching. May the stash be with you, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.